Hey y'all, it's Michelle from the Scattered Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. It's Killikit Sunday, and today I am using this beautiful sketch here by Meggy Blethen from Season 10 or Series 10 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And my picture today is this very cute jack-o'-lantern patch at Six Flags from last year. I've got some papers from my kit picked out and some extra little goodies, so let's get started. For my background, I'm using this really pretty check or gingham, and right away I know I'm going to want to back it with another color, because the more I look at this, the more it kind of messes with my eyes. So I'm like, I've got to rein this in. So I pick out this orange basil, and I chose this one because to me it went more with the orange that I'm going to be backing my photo with. And I'm going to trim this down, and in fact this messes with my eyes so much that it took me forever to get this trimmed down how I wanted it. I cut all that out because you did not need to see me messing with all that. But I finally get it on there how I want it. And I trim up this to get it on the back of my photo. And I leave a little bit of the edge so you can see the little X's on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put down my backing or my paper onto my, I'm going to mat my layout. That's what I'm trying to say. And while I'm doing this, my ATG gun decides to go wonky on me. So I end up having to stop and fix that too. So we got a great start for this layout. So I get that all situated. And I don't know what happened. It just did not want to come off of the strip there. But I get it situated, and finally everything is down. And now it's going to be smooth sailing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut all these little pumpkins out of this paper. And the best tip that I've ever gotten for fussy cutting is from Sandy from State Goddess here on YouTube, who says, whatever scissors that feels good in your hand is the scissors you should use for fussy cutting. Don't worry about using little teeny ones. Just whatever works for your hand. If it feels comfortable in your hand, then you'll be able to fussy cut. So that's what I have done. I like using those big old honking scissors. Now, teeny tiny little places I'll get out my little scissors and snip and trim out some stuff. But for the most part, I do all my fussy cutting with those big scissors because they just feel comfortable in my hand. Now, in the sketch, it shows up underneath the photos like a little tab or a little layer there. And so this is what I have started out with to represent that. And it has pumpkin on it, and it says pumpkin pie, but I'm not worrying about that. I'm zoned in on the word pumpkin. So that's what I want to make sure shows. And then I was thinking, well, maybe you can't see my title very well since it's black on the black and white. So I also pull in this really pretty leaf pattern. I just really love this collection. Is so pretty. And then I decide, well, I'm going to go ahead and just make some layers here. I'm going to use what I've got. And then it was looking weird, and I figured out, oh yeah, it's because my leaf paper is on top of my text paper on the bottom, but on the top, the text was on top of the leaf, and it looked really weird. So I had to fix that. So I get that kind of situated how I want it. And one great thing about this paper is I can use those lines to help me make sure things are straight. So now I'm going to put my little pumpkins all around, and I love that it's different shades of orange, and it even throws in kind of this bluish greeny kind of pumpkin. It reminds me of Hubbard pumpkins. They're so pretty. So I'm gonna figure out how I want all these little pumpkins to go around to make my pumpkin patch here. And I'm just kind of loosely following the sketch as to where my clusters are. And I am so excited about these two sketches at the very beginning of our series, because both of them have been decorating on the diagonal, which is my favorite way to decorate, so I'm all about that. This one is running the opposite way, though. The one I did, well, I guess it was yesterday, was from the top right to bottom left, and this one is from the top left to bottom right. So there's a little bit of variance here. So I know there's another little place where she has like a tag or a banner or something. So I do put down some of this leftover orange with the little X's on it. And I'm thinking I need to put something in there because it just looks empty by itself. So I tried out that little wood veneer truck, and while it was cute and I really liked it, it didn't really go with the feel of my layout. So I put that aside, and then I looked at the puffy stickers, and I've looked through the sticker book, and here's the big 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and it has this large floral that I'm like, oh, that's going to be perfect. It kind of fills in that space, and it's really, really pretty, and it has an extra color to it. So there's like this really pretty pop of that. Well, I guess it's a red. It's either a really dark burnt orange or it's a reddish color. But anyways, it makes for a nice pop up in that corner. And so then I'm like, okay, I need to find something to go down in this bottom one to kind of go with that or balance that out. So I'm looking through the sticker book and I'm trying different things, but I'm not really liking any of this stuff because it's covering up my sparkly jack-o'-lanterns, and I don't want to cover them up that much. So then I'm like, well, maybe there's a die cut, but I'm going to look through here, and I tried this one. It says, I love fall. It does not have that really, I mean, that little leaf in there has kind of the reddish tone to it, but it's not really what I'm looking for. And it's kind of big, and it's covering up more than I want it to. So I go back to the sticker book, and I find this sticker right here that says, fall is my favorite, and it is. And I think, oh, this is perfect because it brings that reddish color down. It even has little X's in it. So it's kind of repeating what's up at the top. And it does say something about fall being my favorite, or I love fall, and I do. It's my favorite. For half a second, I try out this because it says pumpkins. I don't know what I was thinking because the flowers work, but I'm trying it out just because it has pumpkins on it and it says pumpkins and this layout is about the pumpkins. But I get rid of that. Like, nope, I don't like it. I do try to use that bigger piece, but I like the smaller piece of the orange paper. I like that the black and white show behind it, and it's not totally covered up. So I look through the die cuts to see if there's anything else that I want to use, and there is not. So I'll go ahead and put that away. And then I'm thinking, okay, my plan all this time was to make all these cute little pumpkins into cute little jack-o'-lanterns, because I have a field of jack-o'-lanterns in my picture, so I want a field of jack-o'-lanterns stacked up all around. So I have these two stamp sets. This one is a recollection stamp set that I got either last year or a year before, and it has jack-o'-lantern faces on it. And then this stamp set here is the new Halloween one from Heidi Swap, and it has some jack-o'-lantern faces on it. With this one, it's the eyes, nose, and mouth are all separate. So you can mix and match and make different faces. And I'm looking through here to see if any of these sentiments I want to use, but I didn't really see any that went with what the feel of my layout is here. So what I'm going to do is, at first I think with these I can put the whole face on at the same time and just do it in one stamp. And I think I could do that if my jack-o'-lanterns were bigger. But since these are smaller, I'm going to have to do them. Oh, and I have forgot a mouth. Oops. But since these are smaller ones, I'm going to have to put the eyes, nose, and mouth on one at a time. There I was still thinking, oh, I can do it all at the same time. But no, not with these. So the ink that I'm using here, I think is the Tim Holtz Distress Ink in Walnut Stain. I thought about using black, but because of the tones of the papers that I'm using, I thought that may be a little bit too harsh. So I'm using the Walnut Stain, and it turns out so cute. Look at those little eyes. They're adorable. This is a very happy pumpkin. It's so excited to be turned into a jack-o'-lantern. So I've got my eyes down, and then I'm going to put the nose down. And these are brand new stamps, so I keep rubbing them on my arm to kind of get the manufacturing oils and stuff off of it. And that way it kind of dirties the stamp up a little so that it will hold on to the ink better. And I'm going to get his little mouth down. And ta-da! Oh, look how cute! Oh my goodness. I am just so in love with jack-o'-lanterns this year. So I go ahead and make all the pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns. And then I'm like, okay, well, now that I have gotten everything kind of how I want it, I need to start gluing everything down. Unfortunately, they don't just stay when you've decided where you want them to go. You have to actually glue them down. So now I'm going ahead and getting my layers situated behind my photo. And I want them to be offset just a little bit, so I make sure that it's straight using the lines of my background and kind of figure out where I want them to go on my background. And then I'm just going to start gluing down my pumpkins in the places that I had put them. And these little sparkly jack-o'-lanterns, I think I got those at Michael's 2 years ago? I think so. It was either last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember. But I did get them from Michael's. They usually have, every year in their Halloween section, they usually have jack-o'-lantern big die cuts like that. In fact, I think they had some this year too. They also had a little packet of ghosts. Well, yeah, it was a pumpkin, a ghost, and bats. So I got all those in the lower right-hand corner down. And then I've got my title down. And I wanted to put the title down before I started gluing all these jack-o'-lanterns down, because I wasn't exactly sure where the weighting would land. And I didn't want to cover up my little jack-o'-lanterns with the title. I wanted there to be a nice gap in between. So I went ahead and put down my title, so now I can put down all these little pumpkins. And I went ahead and trimmed off that piece of orange paper and got everything looking nice and straight. And I got all of my pumpkins grouped together, and it is looking so cute. But now I am looking through my sticker book because I've got my title in the middle. I have words in the bottom right, and I'm thinking I need words in the top right. You don't need words in the top right just because you have words in other places. But that's kind of what I'm feeling. So I'm looking through and I'm trying to find like a sticker or something that I could put up there. But I don't really find anything that I think looks good. So I figure, you know what? It's fine. And I have these little sequins that are little jack-o'-lanterns. So I put them in this little bowl. And I put the top back on that container because I know I am notorious for knocking things over. And if that was opened, I would have little tiny sequin jack-o'-lanterns all over the place. And I did not want that. So I'm just going to go through here and sprinkle them throughout my big old clusters of jack-o'-lanterns to give it a little bit of sparkle and shine. And then I'm just going to use my little pickup tool here to pick them up like this and put some glue down and stick them back down. And in the close-ups, you'll probably still see the glue poking through the eyes, nose, and mouths, but once it's finished drying, it's clear and you don't see it anymore. So there we are. And then I have to put some shimmery splatters. This is the Distress Mica stain from Tim Holtz in, what is the name of that? Ember or something. Let's see. Nope, that's the wrong one. Oh yes, Burning Ember, and it is so pretty. It's a red, but with an orange, like a dark orange mica in it. So it dries this beautiful, like burnt orange color, and it is so pretty. And that is gonna do it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope that you are enjoying the beginnings of Scrap-O-Ween and having a wonderful October. Don't forget to check all the links down below for everyone else who is participating in 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And there I'm trying to show you the shimmer of that Tim Holtz stuff, but in real life it's so beautiful. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.